Jessie Draper, the Valley Girl. What does your company do? Have you ever Googled yourself?
Totally.
What makes a great entrepreneur? What's your next big idea? Tweeting's like my favorite. Let's talk business.
I'm like the Valley Girl.
ParkMe is a free application that recommends the cheapest and closest parking to you. Sam Friedman and Alex Israel are the co-founders of ParkMe. ParkMe! Well, here we are with Sam Friedman and Alex Israel of ParkMe. How you doing?
Awesome.
Tell me a little about ParkMe. What do you guys do?
ParkMe is a free app that
I like free.
Free app that recommends the best parking around you. So it brings real-time parking information to your phone, and then we also work with navigation companies and auto companies to get the information embedded in those systems. So when you're driving, you can find the best parking, save time, save money.
You have all this data.
Right.
This parking data. No one else has that, right?
No one.
You have
Not
the
to the
parking
extent.
power.
Yes,
Parking data
The
power.
parking kings.
So you have just tons of data. And how did you collect this data? Did people actually just walk across the countries because you're all
you're
over?
looking
you're
at
looking,
them.
yeah.
You
We-
walked across the country?
I mean, not the country, but we did a lot of walking and biking.
did a lot of walking
finding
and biking.
parking facility. I mean, you had to at first, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't say, hey, hey friend, I'll give you some equity, and we're not going to pay you. Just walk around and take pictures of parking. We had to do it.
Right.
All our
So-
friends knew about, they would see us walking around Beverly Hills. Santa
And they were
Monica.
probably sending you parking places too. They were probably like,
yeah.
oh, hey, there's a parking structure
But they were like,
here.
what are these guys doing? There was when we first started, we were gathering the parking signs in Santa Monica. We didn't have any technological infrastructure. And we were staying up all night. I think we were trying to deliver a demo to Google. And we were staying up all night, managing, ensuring high data quality. And it got to a point where Sam was sitting in the office. I was out in the field on a bicycle with a Bluetooth headset. And at this time, I had a huge beard and long hair. And I'm riding down the street, calling off each single street sign. And I'm yelling into this Bluetooth headset. And the cops are pulling me over, thinking I'm schizophrenic. Like, cops are like, you don't need to read every sign. And I was like, no, I do need to read every sign. I'm actually working and biking away, and they,
That is
thought it was
so
crazy.
funny. Aren't you also doing something with the actual spots on the side, like metered parking?
Correct.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yes.
We-
Yeah, absolutely.
top secret,
Okay.
so this is off
Well,
limits.
it's okay. It's too late.
right.
We already
It's
talked about
it's out
it.
of the bag.
So I guess you should just tell me everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you're on this side. Okay, so metered parking, you're going to be able to find those spots, right? Through your parking scenario.
Correct. So we just launched that service in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest.
Right.
Which
You were there for
I
that.
was there.
Yeah.
we met
I
you there.
was
We had dinner
there.
there. What we do is we work with the city to tap into the smart meters. Any
Okay.
meter that takes a credit card, we stream that information from the meter vendor and then display it on a map to show you your most likely chances of finding parking on the street. And so it gets tricky because if I pay for 2 hours of parking, I may not stay actually for 2 hours, right? I may stay for longer or shorter. So we really have to take into account some math and algorithms that sort of smooth out the transaction stream and predict what's occurring in real time on the street. And it's turning out to work very well, and all the reviews are awesome so far in Austin.
Also, while you were in Austin at South by Southwest, you guys were quite the pranksters. You're playing pranks on everybody. Tell me, what were some of the pranks you were playing on people? Parking pranks.
Yeah, well, gotta keep people interested. I mean, parking's a pain, so we wanted to bring a little light to it, a little humor to it. So we planned a few different pranks at South by Southwest. One was we got, you've seen parking boots. You put on the side of the car,
Yeah.
or people get the parking boots placed on their cars when they have a few too many parking tickets.
Yeah.
So we created these fake boots out of cardboard that we'd put on the side of everyone's car all through downtown Austin, Texas. And people would come out panicking, thinking their car had been booted.
Some of you may have come out to your cars during South by Southwest and found this fake orange paper boot on your car over the weekend. That was also part of this marketing campaign.
We say, the stunt went over really well. 90% of the people were thrilled. There was a note on their car that gave them, it gave them a quarter, so the next time they parked, it was free. But most people were really happy, but then 10% of the people were like, ripping the boot in half and furious.
Oh no. What has surprised you that you've learned about parking in general?
That there are things to know about parking is what surprised me about parking. No, quite seriously, it's when you think parking, like, okay, parking, it sucks or it doesn't suck, and then there's, it's meters and there's garages, but the level of detail and intricacy and the ecosystem within parking, the different players, the vendors of the meters, the vendors of the gate equipment, there's owners and operators, and there's this whole ecosystem that I'm sure is true with any real industry, right?
Right.
We just didn't realize, we're going to create a reservation system with parking. Let's just go to the guy that sits in the booth and say, okay, we're going to send people to you. It's not quite that simple, right?
Oh,
There's systems, and so really, I would say the most surprising thing is that parking is a very interesting industry, actually. And that it's interesting for me to say that because I would have never thought I would have ever said that when I was little about parking.
I don't think either of us also knew we would be going to parking conventions and reading one of the 3 major parking periodicals.
conventions.
We also read the parking magazines.
Oh.
Right. Yes. Parking Today, Parking, and Parking Professional.
There's 3 parking magazines.
Yeah, fantastic.
Centerfolds, the newest meter. It's amazing.
Stop, really?
No, I'm completely kidding.
Oh my gosh. I just recently learned that 1/3 of traffic, is created because of people looking for parking?
So that's the study, is that a large percentage of traffic congestion, 30% to 50% of urban traffic congestion in cities is caused by people trying to find a parking space, circling the block, which results in a bunch of carbon emissions and gas consumption and wasted time. And so there is sort of this green component to it. So we've been approached by green VCs and green tech sort of places that are very interested in this parking play.
What do you love about parking?
That
there is a lot of opportunity for improvement.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, and I think, it's such a pain point in people's lives. People really, everyone's become complicit with it. It's sounding like, it's a pain in the ass, I just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is we launch a product and people realize it doesn't have to be a pain in the ass. So it's cool to see that, we can actually make a difference, that there's actually a tangible response in consumers' minds and eyes when they use our product and they actually see, well, it doesn't have to be difficult. I didn't have to circle for 30 minutes. I can actually make my appointment on time. So that's pretty cool.
If you work at your company, do you have to own a poodle?
Yes.
You have to own a poodle.
You have to own a poodle. Mandatory.
A little background there, we both own 3 poodles. I own 3 poodles, he owns 1. I actually don't personally, my family.
No, he owns 3 poodles.
Can you say the alphabet backwards?
I actually can say the alphabet backwards.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go!
ZYXWVUTSRQPO NMLKJIHGFEDCBA.
Amazing! Amazing! High five. Definitely. Well, what is one piece of advice you would leave for an entrepreneur just starting out?
You need to be very confident yet humble at the same time. When trying to sell something, when raising money, you need to realize, you need to show that, hey, I'm here to learn, but I also have a solution. And you sort of need to portray that vibe at all times, because it gives people like humility and people also like confidence. And I think that you also have to give off a vibe that this is going to happen with you or without you, and sort of do you want to be involved?
Okay, you park your car, right? You get out of your car. You go, you have a meeting. You come back. Where are your keys? You don't know. I think that we should practice this activity. Here, you can feel the keys. Feel them. What do they feel like? Keys?
Feel like keys.
Okay.
But
Ready, set, go.
All right, you go to your left, I'll go to my right.
nothing over here. Where's Sam?
I found them.
here we are on the streets of San Francisco with the founders of ParkMe, and so I thought we should park you. Woohoo! Okay, everybody be careful. Okay, we're driving across the street. Hi. Can we park here?
We got 2 cars right here.
So we're just
You don't take the little cars?
gonna be hanging out. They're leaving us here. We usually wear
Is that
helmets.
okay?
But
No parking. Can't park here.
we'll take that lot off of our database.
I'm like the Valley Girl.
I'm like Alex Israel.
I'm like Sam Friedman,
And together, we are like ParkMe.
Great job!
Really well done, huh?
Nailed it! And now it's time for your Dits moment. I'm like the Valley Girl.
I'm like the head chef of Yoshinoya Beef Bowl.
It's just. Oh.
What are we doing?
I think we have to do it again.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to have to do your part again.